Monday.
Watching next week. TikTok.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. In opening the meeting, I would like to acknowledge that this meeting of the WA Planning Commission is being live streamed, and I welcome everyone logged on to view the meeting today. The meeting is being recorded and will be available for viewing via the Commission's website or YouTube. I wish to advise observers that Commission members may refer to technical devices such as phones and laptops throughout the meeting to assist them in considering the information before them. In opening the meeting, I acknowledge that we meet today on the traditional land of the peoples of the Noongar Nation, and I pay our respects to elders past and present and extend solidarity and hope for a just and dignified future for all of us. Moving to item 1.2, apologies. We do not have any apologies this morning, and all Commission members are present in the meeting room. Are there any applications for leave of absence, please? Commissioner Sandry.
Apologies, I didn't put this in earlier. The 2nd of October through to the 23rd of October.
Thank you. Are there any other applications for leave of absence? I will be absent from the 10th of October to the 30th of October. Thank you. We move to item 1.3, disclosures of interest. The first one I have is on item 3.1, the METRONET Byford Station roads external to the precinct. Commissioner Heron has declared an indirect pecuniary interest and will leave the meeting for the deputation and consideration of that item. You don't have to leave yet. Also on item 3.1, Commissioner Brooks has declared a direct pecuniary interest, and I will ask that she leaves the meeting as well. And I have an indirect impartiality interest from Commissioner Sandry in view of the fact that partner works at the Shire of Serpentine, Jarrahdale. I will allow you to stay in the room for that particular matter. On item 4.9, the MRS Amendment 1415, the Children's Hospice site, Commissioner Bennett has declared a direct pecuniary interest and will leave the room for discussion on that item. Are there any other declarations of interest, please? Thank you. We'll move to item 1.4, declaration of due consideration. Could all members indicate they have received and considered the agenda? Thank you. And in terms of questions that are being asked, have those questions been satisfactorily answered? Thank you. We move to item 1.5, confirmation of the previous minutes. So confirmation of the minutes of the 17th of July 2024. Can I have a mover and a seconder that we adopt those minutes, please? Moved by Commissioner Hall, seconded by Commissioner Brooks. No dissent. Thank you. I'd like to also acknowledge that we do have Damien Hills as an observer from the Department of Water and Environmental Regulation. Welcome, Damien. We move to item 2, deputations and presentations, and I will ask Commissioners Heron and Brooks to leave the room for the first deputation. Thank you. And the first deputation is on item 3.1, the METRONET Byford Station roads external to the precinct development application. And we are joined this morning by Al Wallo, Stepania, and Jonathan. Just lost your name, Jonathan Davis. So, gentlemen, if you could please join us at the table. Good morning and welcome to the Commission. You're here this morning to address the Commission the recommendation on item 3.1. So I welcome you to present to the Commission. You've got 3 minutes in which to make a deputation. Thank you.
Morning, Chair. My name is Alf Perola. I'm the Stakeholder Interface Manager for the Public Transport Authority on the Byford Rail Extension Project. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on this item. would like to express our support for the development application. This is development application 6 of 7 applications that have been submitted for the project. DA6, the works in this item have been separated from DA4, the original development application, to separate the works associated with road and acquisition to allow consultation to occur between METConnects or the Alliance and the landowners and stakeholders. The acquisition process has now been completed and the land's been transferred to the Public Transport Authority. The design that it's based on this application includes a consultation that was undertaken with the landowners, adjacent landowners and the stakeholders. Adjacent landowners, and we'd like to thank the Commission and also the Department of Planning, Lands and Heritage for providing support on these applications for the Byford Rail Extension project. And we're here to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alf. In terms of the proposed conditions, you have no concerns regarding those conditions?
No.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, are there any questions, please, of Alf? Thank you.
Chair, thank
No.
you.
Paul?
Thank you for the presentation, Al. Just noting in the report that it does talk about the main roads continues to not be to say that their concerns are not addressed by the transport impact statement assessment. That's been assessed also by DPLH, but I just wondered if you wanted to add any comment about the transport impact assessment from the perspective of the impact on the existing local road network.
I can add to that one if you like. Jonathan Davis, Design Manager, METConnects, overseeing Byford and Armadale stations and precincts. The TIA has recently, just in the last day or two, been cleared by DPLH for DA4, and DA6 was just duplicating that condition to mirror it in case that hadn't been cleared in time. The discussions with Main Roads are more about inputs into their planning for the signalling of the Abernathy Southwest Highway intersection, which is not affected by the project, but is associated obviously by proximity.
Thank you.
Good, thank you very much. Any further questions, please? I will thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Deputation is on item 4.9, the MRS Amendment 1415. You send the others back in, please. Thank you. Right.
Good morning to the City of Nedlands. I will need you to turn your video on in order for us to see you this morning, please. And I'll just need you to unmute your microphone as well. Thanks very much.
So, Commissioners, we're joined by Councillor Kerry Smythe, Councillor Higman Emery, and Tony Free, the Director of Planning and Development at the City of Nedlands. Back to you, Sam.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman, and thanks for turning your audio on there. We can now see and hear you. We might just get you to speak to confirm that we can hear you. No, we still can't hear you. No, you're muted again now. No, we're still not getting any audio. Your microphone is turned off at the moment. Looks like Tony's just stepped out to perhaps seek some IT support. Mobile phone, there's no point me phoning him, so. You are muted. So you may need to, there we go, your microphone's turned on now.
Okay, can you hear us now?
We can hear you now. Thanks very much. Thank you.
It wasn't.
So we welcome you to the West Australian Planning Commission meeting this morning. We understand you're here to address the Commission on item 4.9 on their agenda, which is the MRS Amendment 1415 for the Children's Hospice site. We have received your PowerPoint presentation, which will display on the screen throughout your deputation this morning. You can just advise us as you wish to advance the slides. You have been allocated 5 minutes to address the Commission this morning, and a timer will also appear on the screen, which will count down the allocated time, and you will hear 2 alert tones, one with 30 seconds remaining and one when your 5 minutes has concluded. So we'll bring up your presentation now and invite you to commence your deputation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, and apologies for that delay. Could you go to slide 3, please, before we start? Right. Can you see and hear us now?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Caddy and board members. I'm Councillor Kerry Smythe, Deputy Mayor at the City of Nedlands, and here with me is Councillor Amory. Our request today from Council is simple. Please retain the current MRS zoning for Lot 503, the proposed hospice site, and Lot 504, the proposed access road. This request reflects a council resolution of March this year seeking to ensure that if the designated purpose of children's hospice only expires, then the land returns to A-class reserve and the management order returns to the city. Council strongly recommends against the reclassification of Lot 503. Our primary concern is to protect the land's long-term use and availability for public enjoyment and recreation. The current designation as Parks and Recreation ensures that this land remains part of the Crown Estate, preserving it for future generations and preventing it from being alienated for private use. If reclassified to public purpose special use with a specific mandate like children's hospice, there is a significant risk that the land could be sold off after a certain period. This potential future sale could result in the city being unable to afford to repurchase it and might lead to the permanent loss of valuable recreation land adjacent to bushland areas, as you can see on the aerial photography of the site. By retaining the Parks and Recreation designation, we safeguard against the possibility of the land being permanently removed from public use. This designation supports the long-term vision for preserving green space, ensuring that they remain accessible for recreation and community purposes, rather than being subject to short-term specific uses that could limit their availability and value in the future. Preserving the land as Parks and Recreation is a proactive measure to prevent the erosion of our green spaces and to maintain the integrity of our community's natural environment. We want to send a message to the future. Council also strongly advises against the reclassification of Lot 504. The existing management order for the lot is already well suited to cover the necessary vehicle access arrangements, making the proposed reclassification redundant. There is a concern that should the access road need to be realigned in the future, it would necessitate a resurvey of Lot 504 and adjustments in the excision boundaries, leading to further complications and added costs. I urge to not change the classification of either Lot 503 or 504. The presentation images show the lot in the context of Allen Park, whereas the cadastral just shows it on a flat boundary. I'll hand over now to Councillor Amory. Thank you, Councillor Amory.
Good morning. I'd like to concur with Councillor Smythe regarding the need to retain the MRS safeguards so that Lot 503 is secure for future generations. It does not become vulnerable to privatisation. The matter of Lot 504, which is the access to Lot 503, is highly controversial and currently due to the awakening of surrounding stakeholders who have been silent during the SDAU consultations. It is now time to actually begin those consultations with all the stakeholders. I refer to recent resolution where Clause 3 instructs the formation of a working group to deal with Lot 503 access roads zigzagging through the existing formal and informal car parking areas. The issue has been so heated with our local stakeholders that a petition has been received and Council has released a media statement to reassure the various stakeholders. It is a concern that should the access road need to be realigned in the future due to evolving requirements of all the members of our community who use that area, or for unseen circumstances, such a realignment would necessitate resurveying and adjustments to the accession boundaries, leading to further complications and additional costs. If you are inclined, could you please defer the classification change due to the uncertainty of the access road and the car park situation until this is established by the working group? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Smythe and Councillor Emery. Commission members, are there any questions, please, of either councillor? No, there are no questions, so thank you very much for your deputation.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioners, there are 3 other deputations. They're all written deputations. 2.3 is a written deputation on item 3.1, supporting the item. 2.4 is a written deputation against the recommendation to adopt MRS Amendment 415, as is 2.5, another written deputation against adoption of that amendment. So, thank you. We'll now move on to item 3, the non-confidential items for discussion. I will ask Commissioners Heron and Brooks to please leave the room. So we're dealing with 3.1, the METRONET Byford Station roads external to the precinct. We've heard the deputation this morning. Is there any discussion on the item, please? No, we have a recommendation before us. Do I have a mover and a seconder that we adopt the recommendation? By Commissioner Bennett, seconded by Commissioner Cole. No dissent. Thanks very much. Thank you. The Western Australian Planning Commission will now move to the consideration of confidential items for discussion, decision or noting, and in doing so I seek a mover and a seconder to resolve that the meeting be closed to members of the public. Moved by Commissioner Heron, seconded by Commissioner Bennett. No dissent. Thank you very much.